When her presence fades, is it a test or the ultimate blow to your ego? Have you ever wondered what deep psychological secrets does a woman's silence hold that most men miss? Don't let being ignored become your obsession. Turn it into a launch pad to build the greatest version of yourself. Let me tell you something about women that many men consistently fail to grasp or acknowledge. There will inevitably be moments, within a relationship or even during the initial stages of getting to know someone, when a woman seems to intentionally disregard your presence or your efforts. For the vast majority of men, this is precisely the point where self-doubt begins to take root and consume their thoughts. They easily become lost in a chaotic whirlwind of negative emotions, questioning what they might have done wrong, or desperately wondering why she isn't responding to their messages or gestures of affection. But listen closely to a truth that possesses the power to fundamentally alter your perspective on such situations. Her silence or her act of ignoring you does not in any way define your worth as a person. It does not diminish your inherent value or change who you are at your core. In fact, in many instances, it is nothing more than a subtle test, a way for her to observe and assess how you handle yourself under such circumstances. This is your golden opportunity to embody the calm and composed demeanor of a stoic warrior, to rise above the emotional noise that seeks to disturb your peace of mind, and to gracefully dismantle your ego without resorting to any forceful actions. Remember, the ultimate goal here is not about seeking revenge or trying to make her regret her actions. What we are striving for is for you to reclaim your inner power, to gain a profound understanding of the deep-seated psychology at play in these interactions, and most importantly, to act with the unwavering calm and quiet confidence that is exclusively possessed by a high-value man. Why might she be choosing to ignore you, warrior? The silence from a woman you care about can often feel like a significant blow, a harsh rejection. It stings because we, by our very human nature, are wired to seek validation and crave approval, especially from those individuals whose opinions and presence we value. However, what if I were to propose a different perspective? What if I told you that her ignoring you is, in fact, one of the most valuable gifts she could potentially offer you? Yes, you heard that correctly. A genuine gift. Most men tend to crumble or lose their composure at the first sign of distance or aloofness, but that is not the path we are on. We perceive this situation as a significant opportunity, a chance to forge inner strength and to cultivate a deeper understanding of our own selves. Take a moment to truly reflect on this. Why does her absence or lack of interaction affect your emotional state so profoundly? Is your intrinsic worth genuinely tied to receiving her attention or validation? Recall the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, the esteemed emperor of the Roman Empire. He governed a vast dominion, yet he never permitted the opinions or actions of others to sway his inner tranquility or deviate him from his chosen path. He understood with great clarity that people will come and go from our lives, and that we ultimately have no control over their actions. The only thing within our power to control is our own considered response to those actions. Therefore, her silence is not a reflection of your inherent worth, but quite possibly a manifestation of her own internal struggles or processes. This specific moment, warrior, is precisely where you distinguish yourself and set yourself apart from the majority. Instead of reacting with desperation or losing control, choose to pause and gather yourself. Recognize that her withdrawal or apparent indifference is a form of test, a crucial moment to reflect upon and solidify your own inner fortitude. Perhaps she is deliberately testing your patience to see how you react under pressure. Or it could be that she is currently dealing with her own personal issues and challenges. Or perhaps She simply doesn't harbor feelings for you in the way you might hope. Regardless of the underlying reason, in the grand scheme of things, it truly doesn't matter. What holds significance, what truly counts, is how you choose to react and respond to the situation. Being ignored should not be interpreted as a definitive rejection of your entire being. On the contrary, it serves as a powerful reminder that your value is intrinsically independent and does not hinge upon the actions or opinions of anyone else in this world. Embrace with courage the things you cannot alter. Warrior, there is an immense and often untapped power residing within the act of acceptance. One of the most profound lessons imparted by the Stoic philosophers is the fundamental principle of learning to accept those things that lie beyond our direct control. When a woman chooses to ignore you, you must wholeheartedly accept the reality that you cannot force her to give you attention. And furthermore, you should not even desire to do so. This is precisely where a great number of men falter. They desperately attempt to win back her attention, either by doubling down on their efforts in a needy fashion or even worse, by allowing their self-esteem to crumble and shatter solely because of someone else's behavior. But when you honestly consider it, what do you truly gain by relentlessly chasing after something that was never, from the outset, within your sphere of control? The answer is unequivocally nothing, except for a significant amount of wasted energy and emotional turmoil. From a biological and psychological standpoint, women are, to some extent, programmed to test their potential partners or those who show interest. Whether consciously or subconsciously, she is assessing the degree of influence she holds over your emotional state. If you react in an overly emotional or predictable manner, you have inadvertently given her precisely what she was subtly seeking: confirmation that she possesses a certain level of power or sway over your emotions. However, as a man who embodies the principles of Stoicism, you choose to accept the reality of the situation precisely as it is, and in doing so, you subtly but effectively strip away that control from her. Acceptance in this context is a potent weapon. It silently declares, "I see clearly what is happening, and it does not in any way disturb my inner peace or diminish my sense of self-worth." This, in essence, is the core principle of Stoicism in practice. The great Seneca wisely observed, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Your own mind is the most crucial battlefield you will ever face. Cease creating unnecessary suffering or agonizing over her lack of communication or response. Direct your energy and focus your efforts intently on the things that are undeniably within your sphere of influence. This includes your mindset, your personal growth and development, and the cultivation of inner peace. That is where genuine, lasting strength resides. Have the courage to let go of the things you cannot change, and in doing so, you will discover a profound sense of freedom unlike any other. Now let us delve into the specific strategies you can employ. Firstly, skillfully apply the principle of reverse psychology. The time has come for you to engage in a strategic game, one that is decidedly not rooted in desperation. One of the most remarkably effective psychological tools you can utilize when a woman is ignoring you is the principle of reverse psychology. Women are often incredibly intuitive and tend to anticipate men's reactions in predictable ways, whether those reactions manifest as confrontation, excessive overcompensation, or needy behavior. But what if, instead of doing what she expects you to do, you choose to do the complete opposite? The underlying concept is elegantly simple. Exhibit genuine indifference. Act as though her lack of attention or communication genuinely does not bother you in the slightest, as if you are completely unfazed by her actions. When she intentionally pulls back and creates distance, You should respond by pulling back even further. What is the likely outcome of this approach? Her curiosity is almost guaranteed to be piqued significantly. She will begin to wonder, perhaps even obsessively, why you are not reacting in the way that most other men she has encountered would. From a psychological perspective, this action creates a significant and often surprising shift in the power dynamic of the interaction. Suddenly, it is she who finds herself seeking your attention and wondering why her previous games or tests did not elicit the expected reaction from you. This strategy is not about manipulation or dishonesty. It is fundamentally about maintaining your authentic stance as a man who is not easily swayed or dependent on external validation from anyone. Always remember that women are inherently emotional beings, and their egos can at times be quite sensitive or fragile. When you initially appear to play by their unspoken rules or expectations, but then unexpectedly step outside of those predictable boundaries, you effectively create an aura of mystery and project an image of quiet strength around yourself. She may then begin to pursue you, not because you are merely playing hard to get in a superficial way, but because you genuinely demonstrate that you do not require her approval or attention to feel complete and worthy. That, my friends, is the crucial difference that separates high-value men from the rest. They do not chase, they attract. Secondly, dedicate yourself wholeheartedly to the relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Gentlemen, when a woman withdraws or creates distance, it is incredibly easy to fall victim to insecure thoughts and constantly wonder what you could have done differently to achieve a more favorable outcome. But allow me to remind you of this powerful and undeniable truth. The most impactful and satisfying form of revenge is nothing less than massive, undeniable success. The more intently you focus your energy on the process of transforming yourself into the strongest, the most intelligent, and the most disciplined version of who you are capable of becoming, the less power her actions will hold over your emotional state. When she eventually witnesses you thriving, building a formidable empire within your own being, an empire of character, skill, and accomplishment, she will likely realize, perhaps with a sense of regret, that she is the one who made a mistake by overlooking you, not the other way around. And even if she never comes to that realization, it genuinely will not matter to you, because by that time, you will be far too absorbed in the pursuit and enjoyment of your own greatness to even care about her past actions or current opinions. Engrave Epictetus's profound words into your mind. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Who do you aspire to become, warrior? The time that she chooses to spend away from you should be viewed as valuable time to be wisely invested in yourself and your own growth. This is your pivotal moment to channel any pain, frustration, or disappointment into tangible progress. Take every ounce of that negative emotion and pour it constructively into your physical training at the gym, into advancing your career or building your business, or into honing your artistic talents and skills. Every single repetition you complete during a workout, every new skill you diligently master, every challenging goal you successfully conquer brings you one step closer to embodying the man you are destined to become. High-value men do not passively wait for women to potentially return to their lives. They are actively engaged in building their empires, whether those women are present or not. When you consciously make the powerful shift of redirecting your energy away from focusing on her and back onto yourself, something truly incredible begins to unfold. Your self-confidence will experience a significant surge. Your self-esteem will skyrocket to new heights. And before long, you will come to the profound realization that her validation or attention was never, in fact, what you genuinely needed in the first place to feel complete or worthy. A woman's attention, much like everything else in the transient nature of life, is ultimately fleeting and impermanent. However, your personal growth and self-development, that is an eternal and ongoing journey. This is your definitive moment to rise above perceived setbacks, to build a powerful and capable physique, to sharpen your intellectual acuity, and to expand your influence in the world. When you fully commit to becoming a man who is singularly focused on walking his own purposeful path, her absence will ultimately feel like nothing more than a faint, distant echo against the resplendent backdrop of your burgeoning greatness. Warrior, the act of her ignoring you pales in comparison to the immense sense of power and fulfillment you will experience when you channel your focus entirely into building and refining yourself. So, rise up with determination, construct your personal empire brick by brick, and become an unstoppable force. You have now learned the essential principles of how to maintain your inner power and self-possession when a woman appears to be ignoring you. But please remember, this journey is not solely about her or her actions. It is fundamentally about you, your continuous growth, your inner peace, and your unwavering journey towards becoming the absolute best version of the man you are capable of being. If you are truly ready to embrace this challenging but rewarding path, boldly declare "challenge accepted" in the comment section below. Let the world bear witness that you are not waiting for anyone else's validation to define your worth or dictate your progress. And if these words have resonated deeply with you and ignited a spark, please show your support by hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications to ensure you receive more empowering content that will continue to fuel your indomitable warrior spirit. Always keep this truth firmly in your mind. This transformative path is not intended for the weak of heart or those easily discouraged. It is exclusively for individuals who possess the courage and determination to rise above challenges, to master themselves completely, and to consciously choose to live lives of true greatness and purpose. Don't miss out on the next profound lessons. Please subscribe to the Daily Stoic Life channel, like this video, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any valuable videos every day.